4-year-old child sacrificed in tantric rituals in India. In a horrifying incident from the Amethi district in northern India, a 4-year-old boy named Satyendra was subjected to an alleged ritualistic murder, a stark demonstration of human sacrifice. This tragedy unfolded as Satyendra's stepmother, Renu uh, Prajapati, following the advice of a local occultist, participated in this heinous act, fueled by a desperate hope of conceiving her own child. Renu's desperation stemmed from ongoing health issues and a miscarriage since marrying the boy's father, Jitendra Prajapati, a year and a half prior. The occultist, Dayaram Yadav, manipulated Renu and her parents' despair, convincing them that the sacrifice of Satyendra was the necessary resolution to their predicament. The severity of the situation came to light after the boy's father lodged a missing persons complaint, only for the child's lifeless body, marred by ritualistic injuries, to be found floating in a nearby pond. The incident sparked widespread fear and outrage, leading to the immediate arrest of 4 people, including the stepmother and the occultist, and the intensifying concerns about the increasing incidence of ritualistic human sacrifice in India. So let me break down this story one more time. So there was this man, Jitendra, and he had a marriage, and he had a son from this marriage, and that was Satyendra. And then his first wife left him, and so he had this son, and he got remarried. He got remarried to a woman named Renu, and they'd been married for about a year and a half. And Renu had been having problems conceiving her own child, and she had had a miscarriage. And upon, like, I believe it was maybe her parents or someone that put her in touch with this tantric and this occultist. And this tantric told her basically that the son from her husband's first marriage needed to basically be killed and sacrificed so that she could have her own child. And so that's what she did. And so she has been arrested, her parents have been arrested, and so has the tantric for their involvement in the murder of this young boy.
This is this happening more often, or am I imagining this? Because we're having tantric related human sacrifices in India more often than I remember. Is it like always there and we're just noticing it more often?
I
Or
don't know. That's actually a very good question because I question that as well. Is this just getting reported more? Are more people hearing about it? Or is this actually more common? I don't really have a way to establish which is more likely personally. Um, but there have been more stories coming out about this than previously, more than I'm used to.
is this also to Cali? Kalima?
That's not
Because
clear. There wasn't anything in the reporting that I read, there wasn't anything that detailed, like, to which god or goddess that this was intended, but you're right, there have been ones that we have covered in the human sacrifices in the
I,
past that
th-
we've covered that
I
were
think every
supposedly
single
to
one of
Kalima.
them, eh, so far, every single one of the human sacrifices that we've seen was for Hindu goddess Kalima,
I
if I
wouldn't say
remember
every single
correctly.
one, but there've been more than a few, yeah.
No, every single one that we reported on, I think. I'm. That's
Mm,
what I'm saying.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
It's either in my recollection is telling me that it's either not specified or it's Kalima.
Is there any ulterior motives, or is it just pure superstition? Is it just like,
I mean, maybe it could be argued that she had
look,
her own. Oh boy,
it's
you're right.
Kelly again?
Yeah.
Look,
Maybe
it's a picture
maybe
of Kalima. Hmm.
yeah. Maybe it could
Yeah.
be argued that she had jealousies and insecurities surrounding her lack of being able to have a child, and so this other child from the previous marriage was a reminder of that, and then this is kind of like um maybe a psychological way to justify this action, and they were like, looking for a way to get rid of this child, and then this just provided an excuse that was psychologically palatable enough to actually go forward with it. Maybe someone could argue that, but that's not what I have seen reported.
Okay. Do you want to address Kenny's question here?
Um, Kenny is saying, sorry for my ignorance, but what is a tantric? Is it part of Hinduism? So people in the live chat are welcome to correct me because I don't know if I'll have a textbook definition, but my understanding of Tantra is that it is a form of magic within the broad umbrella of Hindu tradition. Because again, even having the word Hindu is like a Western construct, right? These really are very distinct and separate practices that we just
It's
look at
not
them and we
West.
say they're Hindu. Anyways, um, often they're kind of characterized as black magic amongst different communities and cultures within the subcontinent. But then also Tantra and is where we get like the sex stuff as well. Like the Kama Sutra is a form of Tantra, I believe. Um, so usually they
Is it?
involve yes, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like there's tons of stuff about tantric sex. Like if you Google tantric sex, there's tons and tons of stuff. But
No,
that
I know.
includes
I know tantric sex is a thing. I didn't know Kama Sutra was part of that.
yeah. Well, let's actually Google what is the definition of tantra, so I can give you guys a more accurate. And I
So,
believe
so
that they tend to tantra in general involves a lot of kundalini stuff, which has to do with your sacral chakra,
So
your
no, they're
your root
distinct.
chakra.
I asked ChatGPT. It says the Kama Sutra and Tantra are both ancient Indian texts that discuss various aspects of human sexuality, but they are distinct and separate works.
Oh,
So they're
okay. I
separate.
stand corrected. Fair enough.
Yeah. Um, Here's the thing, guys. A lot of us with an Abrahamic mindset are looking for clear lines on where some of these traditions start and another one begins. And these clear lines don't exist. In the same way that it didn't exist for Abrahamic religions either. Um, because right now it's for us it's clear, okay, this is Judaism, this is Christianity, this is Islam. It's pretty clear. It wasn't like that. Like Islam was a Christian cult that eventually
Christianity was a
became
Jewish
very,
cult.
and Christianity was a Jewish cult. And early on, it wasn't easy for you to be like, this is Christianity, this is Judaism. Like that wasn't the line wasn't quite as clear early on. In India, um, everything is like a mixed soup. So if you want to be like, is this Hinduism? I mean, you could argue yes, and you could argue no, but mostly yes, because when we say Hinduism, we're talking about a mix of things that comes out of India, right? So, and this is one of them. So, it doesn't. So, I mean, and it also has connections to a whole bunch of other traditions and um, practices that are clearly part of Hinduism. I mean, the fact that these sacrifices are to the goddess Kali. I mean, it's hard to argue that goddess Kali is not part of Hinduism. It is definitely part of Hinduism. The tantric tradition. Some people might argue that is, if it's not connected to the Vedas, they might be like, well, that's a separate tradition. I mean, if it's not in the Vedas, and then you want to say, well, that's not Hinduism. By that argument, many of Hindu gods would not be part of Hinduism. You know what I mean? So that makes no sense. There are certain things that are so core part of all the traditions that come out of India that you could be like, okay, this is core Hinduism. But there are many other things that are kind of like in and out, one foot in, one foot out, but clearly has a Hindu identity. So it's a bit complicated. It's not as easy to talk about these things as it is about Abrahamic
Well, I
religions.
mean, trying to define anything in Hinduism is kind of like a lost game to begin with. It kind of defeats the purpose. And
Right.
like I said, Hinduism as a concept is actually a Western concept. There was no idea of Hinduism until there was contact with people from, the Western world and outside of India altogether. Because they're just like, look at all this different stuff these people do. We're just going to call it this because they're all from the Indus Valley civilization and they're all like
Right.
actually very, very, very different. Um, so yeah, there's basically never an easy way to define anything.
I mean, technically is no. It's there are some things that are easily definable, but again, if you define Hinduism as all the superstitious traditions that come out of India, that's an easy definition. Then it would be, um, then this would be Hinduism as well. Easy definition.
um,
Gasian American is saying our beliefs are more like fruit salads.
exactly. So what he means by this is like you just kind of cherry pick what you want. It's not
Yeah.
as structured and strict as Abrahamic faiths. But Kenny is saying, thanks, that made it more clear to me. Well, I'm glad you feel that way because it is not more clear to me.
Kenny also gave us a €5 super sticker. Thank you
Oh,
to
thank
Gajan and
you.
Kenny for their support. The way when I was studying Hinduism, the way that the professor explained this to us was, if you look at Abrahamic religions, if you think about it like a tree where there are some core, there's a root, and there's the different branches that are coming out of it, right? Like, Islam, and then Hinduism is more like a river, and each one of these streams are just like moving parallel to each other in the same direction, and they're just mixed with. It's hard for you to like separate a stream in the river from the rest of them. It's just like so one of them is like a tree, the other one is like a river. These are the water within a river are the different traditions and the different rituals within Hinduism. So that's how you can imagine it in your head. Does that help?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Um,
Wait, there were some comments. Do you want to read some comments?
oh, these are more just like people giving more commentary on like Hinduism in general.
Oh, so this person is saying that, like, showing you a scholar talking about the human sacrifices in the Vedas. So even if Tantric specifically, you want to separate that from Hinduism, Hinduism itself within the Vedas has human sacrifice practices. And again, these are all related. These are all like connected to each other. It's like a network of things that are traditions that are closely related. Um, oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
at least we don't behead people. Remember that line? Like, hey, you guys want to criticize Hinduism, but at least we don't behead people.
Well, that was that. People say that more in reaction to at least we don't behead people for the criticism. Blah blah blah. There actually are
Yeah,
instances of that happening.
yeah,
So
yeah. So okay, people know. If you know, you know what I mean. If you know, you know. People are saying classic. Yeah, yeah. I remember. Yikes. Oh, we got another super chat. Let's read that before we go to the next one. Can you read this
oh,
one?
thank you. Indominus Rex. Saying human sacrifice is pretty much Kali or its variants, maybe some sects of Shivaism because of Agoris or worshippers of Shiva. That's true. I've never heard of Agoris actually doing the sacrifice of people, though. I've actually no, we may I think we did one. Never mind. I take it back. I remember one of the human sacrifice stories we talked about had Agoris in it. I know that they do be eating people though. They do be
Do we-
eating people.
Yes,
Yikes.
they do eat. And they
That's a
eat poop
public
as well.
health concern.
How come the gories don't have that many? I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't be talking, but they seem, yeah. They eat garbage. The gories, they eat garbage. They eat. They go around graveyards. They dig up dead people and they eat them. So they don't. They don't eat fresh dead people. They go eat dead people that have been, there for a while, and they eat like feces and other stuff as well. Um, Yeah, these are part of the rich Hindu culture that we know and love here at this channel. But
I
again,
mean, the
thank you so
mentality
much.
behind it is actually very interesting. It's all about ego death,
Yeah,
right? It actually is pretty intriguing, the mentality, but goddamn.
yeah. This is a
That's a
who was
public
that
health
guy that
concern.
went? Yeah, who was that guy that went with the
Reza
Agoris and ate some
Aslan.
brain? Reza
Reza Aslan
Aslan
got scared
joined the
shitless by the
Agoris.
Agoris.
He ate human brain as part of bonding with the Agoris.
And then he got too
Reza
scared by them and
Aslan,
literally ran away.
and he ran away. God damn it! Oh my god. Religion, guys. It makes us do weird things.
A rich human
Okay.
tradition. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Oh my god. From sacrificing 4-year-olds to eating human brain and feces. You can't get these behavior out of people without religion. Okay? Show me how you could get these kind of results from people without religion. It's difficult. You can't make it
Hallucination or
happen.
sheer desperation. You got three options: hallucination, delusion. Number two, sheer desperation of trying to survive. Three, religion and traditional practice.
Mhm, mhm.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Um People are demanding happy news. They're getting
Okay,
grossed
there's a
out.
fourth. There's a fourth explanation. Babu Janu, which is there are people that are super
Mm.
kinky. Okay, that is number four. The only way that you could get there
No,
is
let's not talk about that.
the twists and turns of human sexuality, and man, does the depravity go deep.
Okay,
Human
guys, I'm
sexuality
talking
is
about
crazy.
I'm not. I'm talking about getting high volumes of things. I'm pretty sure you could get these without religion as well. But I'm saying like not to this level. Not to this level. Show me to this level, right?
I still
Um,
think kink comes in at number two.
King comes at number two. Okay, we're
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah,
endorsing, guys. By the way, just to be clear for people, because we're pro kink here, but this is not what we're endorsing. Okay, this is not at all. We have to be careful, Susie. People might get the wrong idea about what we're saying here. Okay, this is not at all something that we endorse, even though we're not
Why
kink.
would
We
why would anyone ever think that?
Because we always say don't kink shame people, and now we're saying this. Now people think like some people might get the wrong message about what we're saying. Anyways, I'm
Okay,
just
well, I'm glad you clarified then.
okay, Gaijin, give us a
Asian
$5
American
super
is
chat.
saying if they want ego death, they can just plate their brain cells onto chips until they are no longer legally a person. And this is the most Asian American comment because you know he's always thinking about bioethics.